Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the short-term bearish and short-term bullish options and talk about the latest and most important support and resistance levels here. It's possible that a low has formed obviously here. I'm not convinced yet, but I'm happy to be convinced, and I'll tell you what the market needs to do to convince me. The low would be here then on the 1st of March with that low point at 56,540. The move down into the support region, and that support region, which is the most reliable support region on this chart, hasn't changed for 1.5 months. So as I said before, if you went away in March and came back recently, not much happened really. We've just worked our way through the corrective structures, and we have not yet been able to confirm a low in place. And the reason is, well, there was no low. Okay, so we've always been going lower, lower, lower into the correction support area, and that support area is between 50.7k and 61.7k. Strategically, as I said, another low cannot be ruled out. And if another low is forming, then I would see that as opportunity. Another low could send us down into that region, between 50.7k and 55.4k. I'm not saying it comes down to 50.7. That would be a little bit too low in my view, but it can definitely go down, so maybe 55, 54k. So one more low cannot be ruled out in this correction. But I told you in the last few days, if in any pullback now the market does form a higher low, specifically in that orange micro support region that I have highlighted here as the yellow wave 2, I will assume a low is in place. I will assume a low is in place, and the reason is that we have a potential 5-wave move to the upside with yesterday's last high. A potential 5-wave move was formed. That's not going to be enough to really confirm a low is in place, but it's the next step of doing so in our investigation here of price structure. It's important to realize that a 5-wave move alone does not constitute a low in place. It needs to be that combination of 5 up, 3 down, and that will give us, or that gives us the next support area. It's between 58,175 and 61,359, and from there another rally can start, which would be wave 3 in yellow, and then we get the waves 4 and 5. I would not pay attention too much to the microstructures. I mean, as I said, these are in corrections oftentimes changing. Main benefit of them is that they give us the support regions that we need, and that we actually know when in any pullback a higher low can be expected, or at least we can watch for it. I mean, now that we've got 5 waves up and maybe we get one more high in yellow wave 1, I think the chances are that it's going to hold a higher low. This is the support region, but we won't know until the price gets there and stabilizes and gives us the first green candle or something, which then also breaks above the wave 1 high, and then we have a nice 1-2 setup with a breakout in a third wave, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So that's sort of, we need to be watching here for what's happening in the support region. But that can happen very quickly. Okay, that can happen very quickly. And for me, I think it's quite simple strategically. I mean, it's so simple actually. A lot of people make it complicated. I do sometimes see comments that it's confusing. It's actually so simple. I mean, okay, you can trade that in various ways, and that might make it complicated. But the most simple way is, if there is another dip into the main support area, even if we break the initial micro support, I mean, this is something for accumulation as long as the 50,700 level is holding, because the larger bullish thesis will remain intact. That would be a great price to accumulate BTC in a bull market. Obviously, condition is that this 50.7k level stays intact. And then, the next rally is expected to happen, but only as long as this level is holding. There's always a condition. But I mean, if we dip further into that support region, accumulation time, I think. And even if it goes into this smaller support area, I mean, again, we are in the larger and the smaller support area. So accumulation could be something that might work for some people. Or going into long positions, I mean, that's entirely up to you how you do that, if you trade futures or spot. And I mean, if it goes higher from here without any pullback, which can happen, of course, because there is currently no sign of a pullback. These support areas only show us basically the risk. Okay, so if a pullback starts from here, then this would be the area that we need to be watching for. Okay, this is a drawdown in this scenario that the price could undergo. But if there is no pullback at all, then ideally people have bought here or here or here. Okay, and if you didn't, then you need to ask yourself why. Okay, so that's sort of the situation. These boxes are there for looking for entries. Again, don't trade the micro count, trade the levels if you want to use them, obviously. And they are what really matters. The microstructures change. That's part of the system. That's part of the game here. Yeah, that's part of the game. And let's see, what else do we have? Well, okay, so we have in the short-term bullish scenario, obviously 5 waves up. We talked about that yesterday. That 5th wave might extend a bit higher, specifically because this pullback isn't really strong and it's only a 3-wave pullback. Now, it doesn't really give me much there. It looks a bit like a bullish continuation pattern on the smallest time frame, so might give us one more high in wave 5 of 1, okay? Might give us one more high in wave 5 of 1, or maybe it's just here like that, okay? So that's possible. Then next resistance is around 64,860 here, this green line. Not sure if it's going to break above it, but if it does, that's a bit of a breakout point there. But if we get a pullback either now or after one more high, well, then this would be the support area. Yes, I would have to adjust it slightly in case we get another high. These updates are sent through on Discord for gold members regularly, intraday as well, if I see it, you know. Obviously, the crypto market moves very quickly sometimes. And then from here in the short-term bullish count, you know, we would like to see a reaction, and then a 3rd wave rally can happen from there. And if that reaction shows, and if we hold that higher low there, then I will assume that the price has bottomed in wave 4. If we break through, then we can think about the structure, if that's the accurate one, but there are other possibilities as well. I showed you yesterday, like we say, like similar to the ETH chart, that we say, okay, this was an A wave, then the B wave did not finish here, but instead here, but there would be a massive running flat, super bearish, yeah, and then we come down in wave C from there. But that's another possibility, which I'm a bit cautious about. I'm not sure about it, but it doesn't matter so much. Again, what really matters is, do we hold in any pullback this support area? Okay, I always try to keep it as simple as possible. I could show you like 5 wave counts here, but in reality, they wouldn't really matter that much because the levels don't really change. So we try to keep it as simple as possible. Highlight that there is a bearish count still, but it needs a break below 58,175 at the moment to confirm that further. And we're watching if in any pullback, Bitcoin can hold a higher low. So that will be the stress test for any bullish scenario. Yeah. So it's like, you know, I think a low could be in, as you know, it's possible, but we need more, let's say, more objective structures. You know, we shouldn't, I'm not analyzing by feelings, you know, we shouldn't trade by feelings. Instead, Elliott Wave gives us a very good framework to trade against and objective levels, and that's my job, and I'll do that. So let's see if this support is holding. And as I said, one more high cannot be ruled out. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.